Hey everybody, Wheelie here. Today I'm going to take you on a ride to one of the most unique hikes in all of San Diego County. It's Annie's Canyon Trail in Solana Beach. This isn't your typical SoCal coastal hike. We're talking about a genuine slot canyon, narrow sandstone walls, steep ladders, and a story that goes back millions of years. Now, most people know this trail for the Instagram-worthy slot canyon. But what they don't know is the incredible history behind it. We're talking ancient lagoons, illicit party spots, and a generous donation that made all this possible. So before we talk about the trail itself, we need to go way back. And when I say way back, I mean about 48 million years. Annie's Canyon is carved into what geologists call the Torrey Sandstone and Del Mar Formation. These rocks are Eocene in age. That's the same era when early horses were about the size of dogs and the climate here was tropical. Picture this, 48 million years ago, this entire area was a massive lagoon system, similar to San Elijo Lagoon today, but much larger. Sand accumulated in these ancient lagoons and along sandbars, and over millions of years, that loose sand became cemented together by minerals, calcite, and iron oxide, creating the sandstone you see around us. That's what makes these slot canyons possible. The sandstone is soft enough to erode, but strong enough to stand in these dramatic vertical walls. And the erosion, well, that's been happening for thousands of years through coastal rains and water runoff. Now, Annie's Canyon sits within the San Elijo Lagoon Ecological Reserve, one of the largest remaining coastal wetlands in San Diego County. It's a 979-acre reserve. It's massive and it's incredibly important for the ecosystem around here. Human history here goes back at least 8,500 years. Native American tribes, including the Kumeyaay people, hunted and gathered along these shores. Archaeologists have found shell middens, basically ancient trash piles that first show that they ate scallops, clams, shark, barracuda, and abalone. In 1769, the Spanish Portola expedition came through and named this area San Elijo after Saint Alexius. By the early 1800s, Spanish and European settlers established cattle ranches. Then came the California Gold Rush, and development really took off. The biggest changes came with infrastructure, though. The Santa Fe Railroad's Surf Line in 1887, the Pacific Coast Highway 101 in 1891, and then Interstate 5 in 1965. Each of these required massive berms that restricted water circulation in the lagoon. But humans are starting to correct our mistakes, and conservation efforts have really taken off in recent years to restore the natural tidal flow to the reserve. Alright, so here's where the modern story gets pretty interesting. Before this was called Annie's Canyon, locals knew it as the Mushroom Caves, and for years it was completely off limits to the public. The place had a sketchy reputation. It was an illicit party spot. People would come here to get high, party, and unfortunately, they left behind tons of trash and graffiti all over these beautiful sandstone walls. The canyon was vandalized and the area was closed off. But this all changed in 2015 when a longtime supporter of the San Elijo Lagoon Conservancy, now called Nature Collective, made a generous donation, and her name was Annie, and she provided the funds to acquire this land and transform it into a public trail. Volunteers came together and did all of the hard work. They removed all the graffiti, cleared out the trash, and they built an actual trail system with safety measures. On June 21st, 2016, there was a grand opening ceremony, and Annie's Canyon Trail officially opened to the public. And just like that, what was once a trashed party spot became one of the most popular hikes in San Diego. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this hike was much more challenging than I expected. Just getting down from the trailhead to the slot canyon was very hard for me. Having MS, I don't have the steadiest footing, and the steep path downward was pretty hard for me. I actually wish I had brought my trekking poles. The Slot Canyon section is only about a quarter mile long, but it's steep and narrow and requires some real effort. So I wasn't actually able to shoot within the Slot Canyon. But honestly, if you can make it down to the Slot Canyon, you'll be able to do the actual canyon. But wow, check out this view from the top. Like, you can see the entire San Elijo lagoon, the Pacific Ocean, and if you're okay with looking back down, you can actually see through the Slot Canyon that we just climbed through. It's totally worth it. Another awesome fact about this lagoon, 40% of all bird species in North America have been spotted here. Over 700 species of plants and wildlife call this reserve home, including some rare and endangered species. And this is why conservation matters and why it's important for humans to take care of this planet. Okay, so now I have to hike back up to the trailhead, which is definitely going to be a challenge for me. With MS comes a lot of fatigue, so this is really pushing myself today. And honestly, I'm really glad I brought ice water, because I am definitely going to need some time to recover before I can ride home. What an incredible experience. I'm really glad I pushed myself and did this hike. Now I get to cool off while riding home along Pacific Coast Highway. You know, it is so easy to take places like this for granted. We see another San Diego hiking trail and we think nothing of it. But when you understand the history and the ancient lagoons from millions of years ago, to the Native American communities that thrived here for thousands of years, to the modern conservation efforts that rescued this canyon from destruction, it really just hits differently. This trail existed because someone named Annie cared enough to make it happen, and because volunteers put in the hard work, and because organizations like the Nature Collective continue to maintain and protect these spaces. So yeah, Annie's Canyon Trail absolutely kicked my butt today, but it also reminded me why I love exploring Southern California so much. Every trail has a story, every canyon has millions of years of history literally written in stone. If you haven't yet checked out Annie's Canyon, just add it to your list. It's more challenging than it looks, so bring water, wear good shoes, and if you want to avoid crowds, get there early. Oh, and maybe do some stretching first, just trust me on that one. Thanks for riding along with me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Annie's Canyon history, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what other SoCal trails you want me to explore. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep appreciating these incredible places that we get to call home. Ciao!